most welcome. You know, the reception for Queen Ramonda and Wakanda Forever particularly has been, I mean, it's been this. What has this moment been like for you?
Oh, it's been like the warmest hug. It's been stellar. It's been stunning.
Yeah.
It's been thrilling.
Yeah.
And I welcome it.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you for coming out.
I want to go back again to 2018. I'm going to read something that you told me right before the first Black Panther came out, and you said, quote, "The last time I felt that proud was during the making of Malcolm X. We all had this immense pride as we came to work every day, just wanting to throw down the way we know that we can and doing it with style," end quote. And what's amazing is that, you know, Black Panther obviously was very groundbreaking for Black actors, Black creators, Black directors. We saw what it did at the box office. What was it like returning to set, quite frankly, knowing that the audience was going to be there and probably that the level of expectation also was there? Because you guys didn't know what was going to happen that first time. What was it like that second time knowing that we were craving?
Yeah, exactly. Craving, expecting. It was still very thrilling and exciting. Of course, it was sad because, you know, we had lost our king, so we had that. But we just had such immense respect and appreciation to our leader, Ryan Coogler, writer and director. And, you know, experiencing all that we experienced on the first one, me being a big, huge fan of, you know, of his previous work from Bell Station and Creed, and just seeing him just, you know, just with each project just growing from Creed to Panther, like the level of responsibility that's, you know, from a smaller film to, you know, this behemoth. I just knew he could do it. You know, having worked with him, such a huge heart. You know, he's such a mad creative. You know, I knew that he would, you know, he would have all your hearts and mind in the making of it.
Absolutely.
So not a care, not a worry, and especially how we, you know, began the journey, and that was, you know, they chartered a plane and flew us all who were starting that first week to South Carolina to visit Chadwick's resting place, and I thought that was so different and unexpected and so full of heart, and it was tremendous in its ability to ground us and to really bring us even more together, you know, and put us on this path.
No, I loved hearing you talk about that experience because it sounded really beautiful and, like you said, unique. And I know that making this film was an emotional experience for you and the cast. But before we even go there again, I would love to know about a beautiful experience that maybe we don't see in this final cut of Wakanda Forever, something that happened when the cameras weren't rolling or the cameras had just gone down, that you guys experienced that really cemented that chemistry that we see so lovingly on the stage, or on the screen, sorry.
Well, that day was just, the sun was bright, two of his family members were there with us. And it was not only just actors, it was, you know, those who worked with Chadwick on 21 Bridges? You know,
I think so, yeah.
Or, you know, from the sound department, just across the board, all departments, some faces that, you know, they're sort of like back there in the corner, you don't get to see them, but to hear them speak about the impact that he had on their lives. So everyone just spoke from the heart that day, and it made us light, made our hearts light. You know, when you think it's going to be sad, and then you find yourself telling funny stories or lighthearted stories, and you find yourself laughing and hugging and embracing. And then we went to, you know, break bread, eat lunch, and with the biggest mosquitoes. That part was not so pleasant, but it was you know, South Carolina in the summer, you know. So even that you have to, accept and make peace with.
I know, I love that, mosquitoes and all. Thank you for sharing that. I know that you and I in the cast have talked about this before, that, kind of what we imagined this film was going to do for people who consumed it. Be a little bit medicinal, because quite frankly, we all have kind of collectively suffered some type of loss in the last 2 years, or the last 3 years now, and haven't been able to have this communal experience to grieve. But what has this film done for you, personally?
It's huge. It's huge, but yet it's a big film, big movie, but yet it feels very intimate also. And I remember Ryan called me and saying, okay, it's going to be very important, the relationship between the mother, the first time around dealt with the relationship of, father and son, and now it was going to be something else, but now because of circumstances, life circumstances, it's really going to rest on your shoulders. So that felt pretty heavy, if you let it be so. Okay. You just try not to think about it and just do your work. Yeah, just do your work. And that this movie with the individuals that I work with who are just amazing and amazing women also, from our female director of photography, Autumn, with Carter, to Hannah Beechler, who built all those sets and practicals for us, just heads of all departments, and then for it to be a movie that's, female driven and black women, it's nationalities. It's just been amazing, especially in a career. I've been, I guess, at it about 30 years, it's been 40 years. We don't have to say the whole number. I can't even tell you how many years it's been, because it's just like, just keep going forward, one step after the other. But it's been a long time. I think it's been about 30 years. To have just kind of moment and talk, positive talk generated, and still just breaking barriers and doors. It's a wonder, and it's wondrous.
Let's stay there, because that obviously is very powerful imagery in this film, and I think that it's going to also shift, I think, how we do filmmaking. What was that like for you to be a part of a story that really told this kind of dynamic layers of powerful black women? It basically centers on black women.
Actually, I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
You saw it later. I don't look at it from sort of that perspective and dissect it, and do the college research paper thing about it, break it all down. I just look at it very simply. This is the script, this is my role, this is my scene, I'm driving this scene. This is what I want. Oh, didn't get it, let me try something else. This is, and that's how I approach it. And then, because you never know how it's going to be received. Does it affect you? Did it awaken you? Is it a story or something that you want to share with the world? Put out there a mother's love for her family, for her nation, for her people, her protecting them and standing up for them, and standing in when she needs to. Is this something that you want to share, with the world? On celluloid, forever and ever, and then you can be proud of it, no matter how it's received. But thankfully, you kind of like it.
You kind of love it, right? How did you prepare to come back for this character? Because quite frankly, every last scene this one is in, she did what? She shut it down. Every last scene. So how did you prepare to give us this version of the Queen in this film?
Well, Well, it started, you just gotta do the technical stuff you need to do. Work with Beth, who is our dialect coach again for this project, as she was for the first. And she's pretty exacting. And so I try to, before we start filming, get as much of that under my belt as possible, because she's that coach that in between the scene they say cut, she's like in your ear, and a lot of times for me, I'm in the moment. I'm trying to stay close to the moment or the emotion or whatever I'm dealing with, not like seriously, jump up, hey, action. I have to stay like right next door, if not in the pocket, So trying to get that, and then Ryan calls and said, Angela, do you swim? I mean, you're gonna do you swim because well, I took swimming lessons in high school. It's like hold your breath, Bob, hold your breath, Bob. Kick, hold your breath, Bob, kick, arm. Not very well. So he sent over some Olympic swimmers to us, and the time you could swim, it was like 7 in the morning, and they had these 20-pound weights, and you may have seen Lupita doing it, where you're on the bottom of the pool with the weights walking, and it's scary, But and then we also through Zoom had another individual who was teaching us how to free dive and hold our breath for extended periods of time. And when I started with her, I was good for 20 seconds. You ain't gonna be able to film nothing. You ain't gonna be able to get much over for 20 seconds. So, working with her, and she was very patient. And I was amazed. I was amazed that, I could get up here comfortably 2 minutes. I might be able to work with that. That's impressive. Then, of course, something happened, and it was one of our cast members had an accident, our little Shuri, and she had to heal from that. So it's like, am I gonna remember all my lessons? I don't have time to retake them, but we were able to get through that.
Okay. I think that the reason why everybody jumped to their feet before they saw that you in that first film, when you came out, I know. Well, because that's who. Look at the astral plane. She's here. Going back to that first one, I think the reason why people kind of jumped to applause is because they know what to expect when it comes to the performances that you turn in. Yes. That means you have a level of consistency, and you've had that level of consistency in this town for the entirety of your career. What's the key to your consistency? Give us the secret.
What is the key? Yeah. Well, the key is staying in love, The key is, picking projects that excite you, stories that you want to tell. The key, and you may not always, you hope, is working with equally excitable, creative people, surrounding yourself with good people, who invest joy and not steal joy from your life, from your days, from your work, from your passion. That has been, a big key for me.
Yeah.
I still love what I do. And being grateful. That's another key. And having the attitude of I'm here to serve, whether it's the director, whether it's the screenwriter, whether it's the little scene I have with Toussaint, that got cut. But, so whether it's Tenoch, who had to learn not 1, but 2 languages that are not his own, English and this, language of the Tolakanil. He had to learn that, he and his countrymen, so being there and ready to, when you can, gently, humbly be of service to each other. And then always trying to find there's 100 ways to tell it. What's the most interesting?
Yeah.
Finding the most interesting way to tell a story
Yeah.
or to respond.
Yeah. So there is, I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's this award show that's happening tomorrow night. And you're up for an award. Congratulations again. I laugh because I don't know if you've seen this, but the host does like a funny preview where he says he's going to quit in the middle of the show if Angela Bassett does not win that award. And I laughed, as I'm sure lots of other people laughed when they saw that, because it was funny, but it was also true. And I have a vote in that award show, so I know who I voted for. But let me ask you this: what does it do for you to get that kind of love and appreciation at this point in your career?
It's everything. It's everything wonderful, I appreciate it so much. I did see that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine in New York, she works with him, and she sent it to me, and I was like, oh. And he laughed at the end of it with such a beautiful smile. And then I sent it to my friends, like, so yeah, it tickles me, and yeah, I love it. I've been doing it a long time, and I do it respect for those I work with and for audiences who see the work. And I hope to keep doing it for as long as I can. Like my mom, I called her mama, Cicely Tyson, till 94, 96 years old. I don't know if I can make that long, but I'll try.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it means a great deal. It means a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I know that the love really bubbles up, but it feels like it must be particularly sweet, especially because, I mean, this is an industry that isn't always so kind to women as we become more mature. But the more mature you become, I feel like the louder your audience gets for you, and that feels very counter to, I think, what a lot of female experience might be like in Hollywood, and to me that feels unique and special. What do you make of it?
I think times have been changing.
Okay.
When I first arrived in the city, you look about and assess the lay of the land, and you would see when women would reach the beautiful age of 40, it was sort of sat down like it's, and then it's skewing more toward younger. But I just, interesting. That's interesting. But I happen to think we get more beautiful more as we are seasoned, more experienced, more, more glamorous, more, sexy, more intelligent. All those things are appealing. So I think there's appeal in every age, wherever you are. And that's how I've always thought about it or approached it. I may be of a certain age, but I'm backbiting on. I feel quite, I'm young at heart.
Yeah.
That's the right way to say it. Young at heart.
I like the other way she was about to say it. How about y'all? Great the snaps.
Young at heart.
So what is it that you're looking for at this point in your career? What types of roles are you gravitating towards, or what types of scripts are you like, ooh, put that in front of me?
Just whatever is interesting, different, a space you've not seen me in. I ran into Jordan Peele, I did a little movie. I said yes to it because I thought, he was directing it, but it wasn't, he was in it. That's the animated movie, I'm doing Wild. Oh, that's but, that would be an interesting, to wind up in sort of like that kind of work that he does, that sort of horror, whatever. That would be different for me, because of course, I've done American Horror Story.
Yeah. So
something like that, or I have been saying as of late, some woman who's, duplicitous or just very naughty. That would be interesting.
I love that, especially the naughty.
Hurry up.
I was told I'd be able to take a few questions from the audience, but before I do, I'm gonna ask one last one. I know, I saw my hands go up. I saw the one back. I got you, sis. Angela, if this, I know this is, I'm gonna ask it though. If this season ends up being as fruitful for you as I predict it's gonna be, and I'm not asking you to make any predictions about your own career about this. But what I am asking is, how will that change how you navigate Hollywood, or how you even, operate, and function in Hollywood and make choices? Should this season be as fruitful as I think it's going to be for you this season? I said season, right?
It's such an interesting place, to be in. Because, on one hand, you wanted, the highest prize, for an actor. But I have to remind myself all the love that I've been receiving during this season. That truly is the real prize, The opportunity to have a role like this, in a film like this, that's a real prize. And we're just human. We don't want to set ourselves up, because the act of voting is so subjective.
Sure.
For these folk who vote, we don't know who vote. We sure don't know who vote. So all you can really do is try to, when you started out, it wasn't about the votes, it was about the love for the craft, and studying the love for the craft, the passion for the, for the craft. So you just try to stay stable, grounded right there with that. But of course, every now and again you get pulled to, I would love to. But we shall see.
Okay.
We shall see, and we'll be hopeful. And how would it change the way I navigate? I don't know how it would change. I think I'll still go about doing things the way I always have, and it's being, true to myself, to the best of my ability. I think I will. I hope it won't. I won't, I'll remain safe. I hope I'll still get a chance to do a variety of different things. I hope I'll maybe have more opportunity. No, but opportunities that I want. Not like so much that I'm exhausted, but So, or different opportunities to work with wonderful people. I hope so. To that I say yes. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Courtney and I have a production company, so we're trying to do projects that, give others an opportunity, voices, creative people an opportunity to tell stories. So I hope that might become easier to do also, to give those opportunities. So I'll take that. Okay.
I'll take that. And
we're gonna see.
Okay. We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Exactly what's love got to do with it, y'all. So we gonna see. And hopefully we won't see that.
No, we can't. It was funny because I wasn't going to bring that up, but we talked about that before, and it surprises everyone that I say that to. After being nominated for What's Love, you didn't work for 18 months. You didn't work for almost 2 years, which seems crazy to anyone who knows what your body of work looks like.
But then when the work came, then it came.
It came.
Boom, boom, boom. It's like Exhale, Strange Days, Vampire Brooklyn. It's like 7 months of nights, foil up on your windows. I still don't turn my ringer on. to this day.
I love it. And you know what? I love how humble you always are and you always have been. But I think that's why it's up to all of us to continue to lift you up the way that we do. But thank you. It's appreciated. With that, question in the back. Right there. Hand up.
Oh, thank you so much for seeing me.
Yes.
Hi, Angela. I love you. I love you. My question is, I want to work with you and Mr. Courtney. I got that duplicitous script.
Okay.
You and your husband, very nice, astute people, but when you get home, you start cussing and doing things that no one ever expected. And so this is the real script that I've already written. It's when I was living in New York. But I think I have a script for you.
Okay. All right. Look. Where's Gilda? Gilda. All right.
She's in the back.
Connect. There she is, right there.
Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.
Shooting our shot at 2023. I love it. Right.
So excited to be here to see you. I naturally gravitate to very strong women. My mother, my grandmother are my role models. And I think that's why I'm just enamored by you, because you tell stories through some of the most powerful women, fictional, non-fictional. So I'd love to hear from you. Who motivates, or who do you look up to and why?
Well, thank you. I also, my mother and my grandmother, my mother was a single mom. I mean, she would always say, making $1 out of 15 cents, and she just had a high standard, very high standard. I remember I was like, Mom, this is C. She was like, I don't have C children. I don't have average children. I was like, oh, okay. So even in that, in her sort of trying to set me straight, I was trying to, like, I didn't know, I gotta see, how can I get this past her? Oh, it's an above average and average. It's average, Mom. I don't have average, and you're grounded, and you're whatever. So my mother, definitely, and she was that woman who, she was like, I need C's and D's, and, coming up, and she was not having it from my sister and I. So sometimes it was like really strong and harsh, like, but I really, I appreciate, her doing the best that she could, and trying to put us in programs and put us around people who are up to something good. And my aunt, my father's sister, Golden, was like the first doctor in our family. And she raised me from like 10 months till I was 4 years old. Because my mother's going through, having another kid in New York and leaving my father and all of that. So I think she had a great impact, because she was that, sometimes we have that aunt who's so loving, so cool. They happy when they see us come, and they cry when we leave. That's who she was for me. That just such a support system. And it may be the choir director growing up, or teachers, or but those women, particularly me wanting to make them proud, them pushing me, putting me in good places. And so when I look at my characters, I think of them. Of course, being a lover of history and having the opportunity to play some of the most, significant people in our history, some who are soft and gentle, like Miss Rosa Parks, or Violetta Wallace, or whatever. I always just have such keen respect for them. And from where I come from, humble beginnings to, how you can become and do anything you put your mind and your heart to it. So having the opportunity to tell their stories, being so, Miss Katherine Jackson sitting on the back of a truck, eating lunch on our laps, just hearing her so sweetly talk, and knowing that she was revered by her children, loved by her children, no matter what, because of the woman she was and the mother she was, and just simply a mother, the power that's in that, finding the nobility and in each of us, anytime I would, having respect and regard for men, having that love. So I just always try to bring that aspect of how I'm feeling to the roles that I'm playing or the scenes that I'm playing. I remember one time during Malcolm X, I had this, it was written, the script was like, Betty says to Malcolm, like, shh, or whatever. He's talking, she says, shh, whatever. And so before we even did it, he was like, you sure you want to say that? And I was like, He's like, yeah, it's written and I'm going to say it. But I got, in a sense, it's like, it depends on how you say it. As my mother says, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Shh. Say it with a great deal of love. Yeah? So,
I knew your hands were going to go up on that one. There was one right here in front.
Hi, Angela. This is Bassett, I'm sorry. I love everything you've done, and I know every character you do, you put your heart into it. But the one character I want to know, Athena Grant, is that you? Because I feel like she embodies so much of who I feel like you would be. You're strong, you're loving to your friends, to your family, to your kids, to your exes, to your everybody. And it's like you're the woman that makes the show the show. And I want to know if there's any part of that. I mean, I feel like it's you, but I want to know what you feel about it.
They write me that way, but yeah, now that you put it that way.
It's all but one.
That week to week to week, I think, yes, a big part of that is me. I do love my friends and family and try to be there for them, and to be strong, even though I can be a bit of a scaredy cat. Okay. And yeah, that police part, that definitely is not me. I mean, my husband jokes, we were somewhere out dinner with my roommates from college, and someone ran up to us in the lobby. It was late and everything was closed down. So, excuse me, can you help me? My brother, he came here and I'm looking for him, and I looked at her and said, is it trouble? And because if it's trouble, and he went that way, I'm going this way. And when she left, they all clowned me. It was like, you were not helpful to me. Is it trouble? Just get a knife, a gun? Should I? So, a good deal is me. A good deal.
All right. You guys are going to hate me forever, and I am so sorry. I am so sorry. But please, please, please give another round of